Good morning. You would raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm testimony given this cause to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, self you got.
Yes.
Okay, give me a lower your hand. There's a rule of evidence that's in effect, says you cannot be in court unless you're testifying what you have testified. Do not discuss your testimony with anybody else except the lawyers, okay?
Yes.
All right. Whose witness is this? Mr. Stainton.
Yes, Your Honor. You have a little of me today.
Okay.
Ma'am, your first name is Elizabeth. Is that the common spelling, Elizabeth?
Yes.
Okay. But you go by Ashley, is that right?
Yes.
And how do you spell Ashley?
ASHLEY.
And as it applies to this case, your last name's Strand?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to take you right to this. I want to take you back to November of 22. Okay?
Okay.
What was your address at that particular time in November of 2022?
268 County Road,
You
35.
need to speak up a little bit closer. Okay.
It's 268 County Road, 3573 in Paradise.
Okay. And just so you're aware, we want to make sure everybody can hear what you have to say.
Yes.
All right? You're kind of soft-spoken, so you may have to pull that microphone up to you a little bit. You don't have my voice.
Got
so.
it.
All right. Let me just get a little information about that address. Where is that address located?
Well, technically in Cottondale, but in Paradise.
Okay. Those are towns, right?
Yes.
Okay. What county are they in?
Wise County.
Wise County. Okay. And so you said two towns. You said Paradise?
Yes.
And then you said Cottondale.
Cottondale.
Okay. And tell us just a little bit about Paradise as a town.
It's a very small town. One stoplight kind of town.
Okay.
You know, just a nice little quiet town.
What about, you said the town of Cottondale?
Yeah, it's inside of Paradise.
Okay. Is it bigger or
It's
smaller?
even smaller than Paradise is. I mean, there's tiniest little church ever out there, so.
Okay. So besides the tiniest little church ever, that's the only thing that is in Cottondale?
I mean, you know, lots of nice, you know, little properties and just, you know, places for, just.
Let me help you with that. Is this small town country life is what you're telling me?
Yes, very much country life where, you know, you let your kids go play and ride four-wheelers and stuff and.
Did I approach?
Yes.
I'm going to show you Exhibit 5. Do you recognize that map and anything on that?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about how you recognize it and what is it?
That is the property that we live on. That's the driveway. You gotta go all the way up, it's really far. And then there's the circle drive where you go. And
Let me ask you, do you recognize the road that takes you to County Road 3573?
yes,
And do you recognize County Road 3573 has been the road you testified about?
yes.
Judge, we asked to admit states.
No objection.
State's Exhibit 5 is admitted.
Okay. Can we publish that, please? Yes, sir. While the computer is doing its thing, let me ask you a little bit. What's the primary road that you are on to get to County Road 3573?
2123.
Okay, is this another county road or country road that's out there?
I mean, it's the main road that goes through Paradise.
Okay. All right. Have a little ambiance.
It's easier to see.
Thank you, Judge. So on this map here, where is the 2123 on this map here that we're looking at on the board?
I mean, it's at the bottom.
Okay, so that road there that runs left and right across the bottom, that's 2123?
Yes.
And then where is County Road 3573 that you were talking about?
Right up there where it says Almond Road, but it also says 3573 if you go a little further.
And is that the road that you lived on?
Yes.
And so, as we go down that road, where is your property location on that road?
That first driveway that you can visibly see on the right-hand side.
On the right. So right there where Mr. Barry's put the arrow. Is that right?
I'm sorry?
Right?
Yep, right there.
Okay. Thank you, Pat. All right, so let's talk just a little bit about your address. You said it's closest to, the closest, I guess, a real town would be Paradise?
Yes. I mean, it's
Despite the fact that it only has one stoplight, that's the
Yes.
closest town. Okay. And you've got your house on here where you were living at the time, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And let's talk about the driveway. Is it a straight through, turn around? What are we talking about here?
I mean, you gotta go all the way down and turn around, but you could just, you can see the circle where you go straight down, turn right around and head right out.
All right. And do you know how many hundred feet it is from the road to your turnaround there?
Oh, Lord, no.
All right. You don't have a concept on distance?
No.
Okay. So, now, this particular picture here, has the property changed a little bit since you were living out there?
Yes.
Okay. And is the road arrangement about the same as what it was before?
Yes.
Okay. And what's different?
Well, there used to be a trailer right across where you can see the carport at the very end of the driveway. There used to be a trailer right there, right in front of that black roof right there.
We'll talk to you about that in a second. Now, on this particular property in 2022, was it just you living on the property? Who else lived there?
It was me and my daughter and Athena, and then at the time, about 18-month, year and a half old, and Jacob.
I'm going to get all these people right. So you and
Yes.
Jacob.
Me and Jacob.
Were you married to Jacob at that time?
Yes.
Okay. You said you have a daughter.
Yes.
What's her name?
Alice.
And Athena.
Yes.
And you said you had a youngster.
Yes, your son.
How old was yours at the time?
She was about a year and a half.
Busy mom.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you, on that piece of property, is it just y'all, y'all's family? When I say y'all's family, I mean your immediate family, or are there other people you're related to on the same property?
Yes, and then it's us right there, and then my sister-in-law and her husband are right down the hill.
Okay. And so on this piece of property, you have essentially, would you say, two families?
Yes.
Your family with you, Jacob, Alice, Athena, little baby Ursa.
Yes.
And then on the same piece of property, you had your brother and sister-in-law and their family.
Yes.
And what about on that road? Are you familiar with your, and let me strike that, Your Honor. On this particular road, can you describe 3573 for the jury?
I mean, it's a fairly decent-sized cul-de-sac. We all have our little group messenger on there, so we all know each other fairly decently.
When you say cul-de-sac, would we also call that a dead-end road?
Yes.
And so it looks here like you live about halfway down that road, is that right?
Give or take, yes.
Okay. I think we've already established we're not going to ask you about distances, okay?
Yes, thank you.
So, but are you fairly familiar with who your neighbors are and where they live?
Yes,
And let me ask you, do you know the Huffman family?
I do, yes.
And who are they?
Their kids are actually friends with my daughter.
Okay. And where do they live in relation to where you are on here?
At the very end of the
Objection,
cul-de-sac.
relevance.
Sustained.
So, this particular road, being that it's a dead-end road, does this have a lot of traffic on it?
No.
And we talked about your kids. Alice, is she older or younger than Athena?
She's older.
How old at the time, back in 22, was Alice?
She was 10.
Okay. And Athena, how old was she back in 2022, November of 2022?
She was 7.
And you said the little girl was a year and a half, is that right?
Yes.
Of the kids, I'm assuming that Alice and Athena went to school. Where'd they go to school?
At Paradise.
And how did the two girls normally get to and from school?
The bus.
And let me take you back to November 30th, okay, of 2022.
Yes.
Anything unusual about that day up until the time the two girls go to school?
No, nothing.
They get picked up by the bus normally?
Yes.
Given that it's a 10 and a 7-year-old girl, were you able to get them on the bus at the appropriate time?
Yes.
Okay. Is that hard sometimes?
It's a little rough sometimes. You know how the little girls can be.
Okay. And let me ask you, what do you mean by that, about how little girls can be?
You know, they like to pick out their own clothes and do their own hair and, you know.
May not meet mom's approval.
Yeah. But you gotta let them choose their own things.
I'll show you a picture that's already been admitted. There we go. Thank you, Mr. King. Do you recognize the girl in Taste Exhibit 1?
Yes.
And who is that?
That's Athena.
And is that what she looked like back in November of 2022?
Yes.
And do you know, have information on when those pictures were taken?
About the weekend before, so 4 days before. November 30th.
Okay. So that particular picture, do you know who took that picture?
Her mom did.
Okay. And where was she when her mom took that picture?
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Sustained.
Do you know where those pictures were taken?
Objection, Your Honor, that calls for hearsay.
Sustained.
How did Athena come to live with you guys in Cottondale?
Her mom was sick and she wanted to stay for the summer, so she came and stayed with us and then ended up staying for the school year.
So do you remember what month she first arrived?
In May
Of?
of 22.
Where does Athena's mom live?
She lives in Oklahoma.
So in this particular picture that we're talking about, is that where Athena was in Oklahoma when her mom took that picture?
Yes.
Now, she's been there with you since May of 2022.
Yes.
And when does school start?
In August.
And so did she start school with Alice?
Yes.
And what grade would she be in? What grade would Alice be in?
She was in 1st grade. Alice was in 5th grade, I believe. Or
Now,
4th grade.
we talked about when Athena moved with y'all from her mom's in Oklahoma. That was in May of 2022.
Yes.
How long have you been in Athena's life?
Oh goodness. Since 2017. So she was about a year and a half when I came around.
Okay. Now, we've seen a couple of pictures here in the courtroom of Athena. This one here.
Yes.
The red bow. Do you have a favorite picture of Athena?
Yes.
I'm not going to have you pull it out and show her anything, but can you describe that picture for us?
Yeah. She was very much an outdoorsy kid, and it's her. She's about 5 years old, and her and Alice had been playing outside in the mud all day long, and she comes up to me and she's holding this gross little worm in her hand. She is covered in mud. Like, I mean, head to toe, it's all over her face, and she's so excited to have this little worm. That's my favorite picture of her.
That's the one you go to. That's the one you remember.
Thanks.
Now, I'm gonna take it to November 30th, 2022, okay? If you need a glass of water or anything, it's right there, okay? That's a Wednesday. And it's Athena and I must go to school normally that day. I think I already asked you.
Yes.
And do you remember any particular item of clothing that Athena was wearing now?
She was wearing some jeans with little red flowers on the pockets.
This should be the first one. This one.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I'll show you what we've marked as State's Exhibit 6. Do you recognize those?
Yes.
What are those?
Those are Athena's pants.
Are those the ones that you just told us she was wearing on the day, November 30th, 2022?
Yes.
And how are you familiar with those?
I mean, because they're her pants. They're,
All right, let me ask you, do you recognize the size and the style?
yes.
And do you recognize those as the one that she wore on that day?
Yes.
Okay. And are those, is that the same thing that you described to law enforcement that she was wearing on that day when she went missing?
Yes.
I submit States.
No objections.
State's Exhibit 6, isn't it?
We post that back. So on the day that she went missing, November 30th of 2022, we talked a little bit about what she was wearing, and you remember that she was wearing these pants
Yes.
with the little flowers on the pockets. And that's what you told law enforcement.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about how we get to that point, okay? What time did the kids get home that day?
Around 4:20 is when the bus usually drops them off.
And was that normal for them to be home at that time?
Yes.
And so on that particular day, what's Alice up to that day?
She had to go down to my sister-in-law's because she needed help with her homework.
All right. And then what's Athena up to that day?
She was up at the house hanging out with me and the baby and doing her laundry and playing with her through the windows.
All right. And I'll ask this from the mom perspective. What's she supposed to be doing that?
She was supposed to be sorting her laundry.
All right. How was that working out?
Not very well.
Okay. And was that kind of to be expected?
Yes.
What are you, mom of a 1.5-year-old, what are you doing
I
during
was
that time?
I was cooking dinner.
What's for dinner?
Trout.
Trout.
Yes, trout.
Just trout and nothing
And
else?
trout and couscous.
So mom and baby are cooking dinner. And during that time, Athena's supposed to be doing her laundry.
Yes.
Anything out of the ordinary up until that point?
No, nothing.
Now, this piece of property that you're on, do you know how many acres it is total, you and the sister-in-law?
Me and the sister-in-law, it's 10.
Okay. And let me just ask you, was it commonplace for the kids to play and be out on the property in the country?
Very much, yes.
And I noticed on the map we had up there before, there looked to be a little pond on that, is that right?
Yes.
And so I'm just trying to get if it was normal for the kids to be outside in the country on the property.
Yes, of course.
So at this particular time, got you cooking dinner. What's Jacob up to?
He had left for a hunting trip.
Okay. Let me back up a little bit. So the kids got home, you said around 4:20.
Yes.
What time does Jacob leave to go on his hunting trip?
Oh, goodness.
Let me
I
ask it
don't
this way.
remember.
Did he leave before or after they got home from school?
After they got home from school.
So Jacob's headed hunting, correct?
Yes, yes.
And you said after he left at some point. Do you remember when he left?
I do not remember what time I left.
And so we're sometime after the kids get home from school at 4:20.
Yes.
What time did you expect to have dinner ready for the kids?
Around 6:30 is, about dinner time every night.
Okay. And so I asked you earlier a little bit about the kids on your property. What kinds of things did Alice and Athena do on your property on that 10 acres?
Oh, goodness. I mean, they would play and run around outside. They had their favorite tree that they would go to. They would run back and forth up and down the hill to their aunt's house to go play with her boys. Just being kids in the country.
Okay. At some point, when did you discover that Athena wasn't where you expected her to be?
It was whenever dinner was done. I was gonna go get her and call her.
So tell us a little bit about between dinner being done and you looking for Athena. What happened in that little short time span?
I went to get her. I saw that she wasn't in her room sorting her clothes. And so I, looked around, couldn't find her. I called Heather to see if she had gone down to her house. She said that she hadn't gone down to her house.
Let me stop you. Let me ask you a couple of short questions here. Is Heather your sister-in-law?
Yes.
Is that the other house that you pointed out to us?
Yes.
So it wouldn't have been unusual for Athena and Alice to go over to the sister-in-law's house?
No, not at all.
Was she at the sister-in-law's house?
No.
It's always technology. Back and running again. Was it unusual for her, like you said, they had a favorite tree, is that right?
Yes.
What was it about this tree that they played on?
I don't even know. It is, I guess the best tree there, and it was right in front of where the trailer was, and they had all their toys around it all the time, and
Okay. That's just where they chose to play.
yes,
And so you checked with your sister-in-law,
yes,
and Athena wasn't there.
yes,
And you checked the tree where they might be, she wasn't there.
yes,
Did you basically just check your entire property?
Yes.
See if she was there?
yes,
Was she there?
no.
So once you kind of figure that out, what is your next steps when she's not where you think she is?
I called the police.
And do you remember what agency came out?
Decatur.
Let me ask you. We have multiple agencies in Wise County. We have the sheriff's office, we have police departments, game wardens, people, highway patrol. Okay. Do you remember which of those agencies came out and talked to you?
The police department, I believe.
Okay. And at this time, when they get there on property, what are you and the family doing at that time?
Looking.
When you say looking, are you just like looking places or what else?
No, we are everywhere, all over the property, looking for her.
Okay. And at this point in time, right then, when you're just looking for, and the police arrive, what are you kind of thinking is going on right at that time?
I thought maybe she was just hiding somewhere,
Okay. Just being
playing hide and seek. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We heard from Ms. Thompson how she was a little.
Objection, Your Honor, to informing the witness what another witness may have said.
Sustained.
What What kind of kid was Athena on your property out there in Cottondale?
She was wild. She loved living out there. Loved just, the freedom of, being a kid. Getting to just run wild and free on some land.
I think at some point you might call that being a little feral.
Feral, yes. I've used that word.
Right, okay. So we're at the point to where everybody's out there, we're looking for her, we're not finding her. Are you thinking that it's, she's gonna find her someplace? Right?
Yes.
All right. When did it start to sink in that she was actually missing and not just playing hide and seek?
When nobody could find her. But the biggest one was when we were all huddled in a circle and the helicopters were flying
Okay.
over us and nobody could find her.
So at some point, it wasn't just the one person from the police that came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
so on that particular day, on November 30th, what we're talking about here, how many, you said we had helicopters in the air. How many other police do you think showed up just on that day looking for her?
I can't even tell you, there were so many. Probably 50 or more people there.
Okay. And let me just ask you, how many days did this search go on?
3.
Okay. Now, let me just ask you, during your initial search, you said where you were out there looking for her, did you notice anything unusual or out of place on your property?
Yes.
And what was that?
The box.
Okay. And we'll talk, let me just ask you, when we say the box, let me ask you, what do you mean when you say the box?
It's a Walmart box.
And can you describe it?
It's a cardboard box with blue on it.
And do you know why that box would have been out on your property that day?
Because I had bought her Barbies for Christmas. And they were supposed to get delivered.
Okay. So you're talking about this particular box. Let me. Actually, I'm going to show you States Exhibits 8, 9, and 10. Let me ask you about, move these out of your way. I'm going to show you States Exhibits 8 and 9. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
Okay. And what is that?
That's the box that got delivered that day.
Okay. And whose address is on that box?
Our address.
Is that the 268 address?
Yes.
Okay. And who's the person's name that's on that box?
That's my name.
Okay. And do you know who delivered that box according to it?
FedEx delivered it.
Okay. And so this box, as you see it in these two pictures, is that what it looked like on the day that you saw it at your house?
Yes.
Okay. And is that what it looked like when you spotted it when you were out searching?
Yes.
I'm going to show you States Exhibit 10. Do you recognize this picture and this what's in it?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us what's in this picture in States 10?
That's the front of where the trailer was.
Okay. And we talked about this trailer. Was this someplace that y'all were inhabiting, or what was the status?
No, we were not living in it.
All right. So this was an abandoned.
Yes, abandoned trailer.
Okay. That was just on the property.
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you a little bit. We talked about some of the roads. Do you recognize the road and driveway in this particular case?
Yes.
Okay. All right. These back here.
Judge would ask that it met states 8, 9, and 10.
No objection.
States Exhibits 8, 9, and 10 are admitted.
You give me an 8.
I'm sorry, yes, say that again.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Good.
See what the numbers are on. Ask me about those.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So this exhibit we're showing you here, is this what you were talking about before? It has your address on it
Yes,
and your name on it?
yes,
And this is the blue box that you were talking about?
yes,
The one that FedEx delivered?
yes,
And were you somehow tracking whether or not this was delivered or not?
yes,
Okay. It arrived at your house.
yes.
Okay. Let me show you the. Yeah. I'm going to show you states 10. When we see this over here on the right, is that the same box that we're talking about?
Yes,
Okay. And I see what appears to be a little porch or something on that. Is that right?
yes,
And is this part of that abandoned dwelling that was on that property?
yes,
Now, I see a lot of police cars parked there. Is that kind of what it looked like when they were looking for them?
yes,
Now, we mentioned before that we have the circle drive on
Yes.
that map. Is that right?
yes.
And so is this part of that driveway? Where
The
cop
main,
road park?
the main driveway was right here, where you see the archway right there.
Right.
It just circled right past that, that's a little bit,
Well,
but it's all connected.
Is this your driveway?
Yes, this is our driveway,
And that's where you found that box?
yes.
So let's talk a little bit about that box. What did you say that you ordered in that box?
Barbies,
Let me show you State's Exhibit 7.
Do you recognize those?
yes.
And what are those?
Those are all you can be Barbies,
All right. And do you recognize that that is what you ordered?
yes.
And who were those for?
Those were for Athena,
And is this, do you believe this to be the same Barbies that were inside that box?
yes,
Okay. They were delivered on that day, November 30th.
yes.
Judge, we'd have to submit state 7.
No objections.
States Exhibit 7 is admitted.
Actually, let me ask you,
Why do you order those boxes?
These specific Barbies, I mean, because it came with so many of them, she could get, 6 Barbies all at once.
Okay. And what was the name on those Barbies?
They were career Barbies.
Who were those for?
They were for Athena,
For just a present or for some other occasion?
for a Christmas present,
Christmas. And that's what was delivered to you on that day?
yes.
Now, some folks have a regular driver that they may recognize that delivers UPS, FedEx, Amazon, okay? Do you recognize Tanner Horner as your driver?
No,
Had you ever seen him before
No.
that day?
no,
Ever?
no,
Now, Athena went missing on a Wednesday. What day was it of the week when they found her?
it was Friday,
And at some point, I'm assuming you were informed that she was deceased. Is that right?
yes.
Who informed you?
I believe it was the sheriff, it's a blur.
Do you remember where you were?
At the Cottondale church.
And who were you with when you found out she was deceased?
I was with Jacob and Maitland,
So Jacob, your husband,
yes,
and I didn't ask you, is that Athena's mom?
Yes.
Okay, Maitland?
Yes.
And y'all were there in the church together?
Yes.
Let me ask you a little bit about Athena on that particular day. You had seen her for an hour or so before she went missing, right?
Yes.
Okay. At any point in time, did she have any injuries on her whatsoever?
No.
Okay. Did she have any bruises on her face?
No.
Did she have any bruises you were aware of on her body?
No.
Did she have any unusual markings, scratches, or anything else on her body?
No.
So the last time you saw her, would that be what she looked like in the picture we showed you earlier?
Yes.
So I'm going to show you.
State's Exhibit 12. You recognize the child in that picture?
Yes.
Okay. And who is that child in that picture?
That's Athena.
Okay. Does she look the same as she did when you last saw her November 30th?
Yes.
Okay. Let me show you State's Exhibit 11. Do you recognize, let me ask you first, do you recognize the background and the location where that's taken?
Yes.
And where is that?
That's on the property 268.
Okay. Is that where we also see Exhibit 10, the
Yeah.
driveway?
Yes.
Would that be where the police cars were parked?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recognize that as being your driveway?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recognize the person that's in that picture?
Yes.
Okay. Now, will you agree with me that picture is a little fuzzy?
Yes.
Okay. Who's the person in that picture?
That's Athena.
Now, how do you know that that's Athena?
Because I know my child. It's her. That's her hair, and it's just, little stick girl right there with her long legs.
All right. Would you estimate States 11 to 12?
No objections.
State's Exhibits 11 and 12 are admitted.
Can I see 11?
This is on your property?
Yes.
Notice, what does that appears to be on the other side of Athena in this picture?
The driveway and a water hose?
And when we talk about this, we saw a picture of where that box was.
Yes.
Is that box close or far away from where this picture's taken?
It's pretty close.
Okay. All right. And so that's Athena in that picture.
Yes.
Okay. Let me show you State's Exhibit 12.
Yes.
This is what you testified before. That's Athena in that picture.
Yes.
Do you recognize what pants she's wearing?
She's wearing the pants that I described.
Hold up that other picture. Let me ask you a question about it. Do you have the other picture?
This
of the
one?
pants? No, the pants.
The pants. Yes.
There we go. State's Exhibit number 6. Do those look like the same pants or similar pants to what she's wearing?
Yes.
And is this what she looked like the last time you saw her?
Yes.
Now, let me just ask you, would she have had any reason to be inside of what appears to be a van or truck at that time?
No.
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
Or
Would she have had any reason to be in a truck with that individual that's depicted in that picture?
No.
Okay. Did you give her permission to be in that truck?
No.
Did you give her permission to be taking a ride with that individual in that picture?
No.
So we find her, you get told on that Friday that she's deceased.
Yes.
What's your reaction when you find out that Athena's no longer with us?
I lost it. I just don't know how you're gonna react to something like that.
Since that time,
Mhm.
how has this affected you since that time?
I mean, a lot. It's affected me. It's affected my marriage. It affected my children.
Let's talk about that. You still married to Jacob?
No.
You think Athena being kidnapped and murdered played a role in that?
Yes.
You said it affected your children.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Alice.
Okay.
How did Athena going missing affect Alice?
I mean, she lost her sister in the most horrific way. Even if a delivery driver just drives down the driveway, she's outside, she runs and hides. It's affected her school. It's affected her friends. It's affected just her in general. She has nightmares.
About her sister?
Yes.
How old's Alice now?
She's 14.
And still affecting her?
Yes.
When was Athena's funeral?
December 6th. That whole time frame is. I've tried to just not think about anything like that.
You didn't think about it?
I try not to.
Let's talk about you. How's this affected you as a person?
I'm not the same. I don't trust anybody. You can't. You're just not okay after something like that. Even my 5-year-old says stuff.
Still scared?
Yes.
That's what you're
Cross-examination.
Yes, Sean, I know you've heard from her.
Yes.
I was gonna say, I have some exhibits that we had a printing snafu, and all I have are the black and whites. If admitted, what we would like to
ma'am.
Ms. Strand, I want to hand you what has been marked as defense exhibits number 1 through 5. If you take a look at those, please.
Yes.
And do you recognize defense exhibits number 1 through 5?
Yes.
And what do you recognize them to be?
The property?
And this is the property that you were living on at the time of Athena's disappearance?
Yes.
Defense offers defense exhibits 1 through 5.
Have you shown them to the
Yes.
state?
I will show them again.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll go with Your Honor.
Okay. The objection is overruled and defense exhibits 1 through 5 are admitted.
And Your Honor, for the purposes of the record, we had a printing issue, so the defense exhibits number 1 through 5 that I've shown Ms. Strand and that she has identified are in black and white. However, we do have the originals in color that we would like to publish to the jury.
That's fine. When you get ready to substitute, we can make sure the record is clear as to the new exhibits.
And I get switched over to I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm having technical difficulties.
Take your time. Mr. Goble, I think the power cord may have come loose just to be on the safe side.
Thank you. Ms. Strand, what do you recognize Defense Exhibit 1 to be?
That's the abandoned trailer.
In this photo, on the right-hand side, about halfway down, is that where the box was left?
Yes.
And on Defense Exhibit number 2, what is this?
That is also the abandoned trailer.
And this is, were people living in the trailer at the time?
No,
Where were they living?
there's a house in the back that we were living in.
And is that the house that y'all were renovating?
Yes.
Defense Exhibit number 3, what is that?
The dog pen in the pool,
Okay. And this is still on the property?
still the same property.
Defense Exhibit number 4, what do you recognize this to be?
Still the property, it's the outdoor shower.
Was there running water in the house?
Yes.
Were there, why an outdoor shower?
Well, we were in transition, trying to get it just finished and ready, and that's, yeah.
And lastly, defense exhibit number 5, what do you recognize this to be?
That's the girls' room.
Can you see the girls' room from the main house?
Yes.
And can you see the girls' room from the kitchen where you were preparing dinner?
If you peek through the window, yes.
From the kitchen where you were preparing dinner, would you have been able to see the delivery truck drive up?
No.
On that day, or let me back up, these photos are an accurate representation of your property on that day?
Yes.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Redirect.
None further, Your Honor.
May this witness be excused subject to any potential recall?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. You may step down.
Your Honor, would you consider a quick break?
Okay. Give us about 10 minutes, we'll call you right back in. Your lunch should be here about 12:30, so we're gonna work until that, up until that point, okay? 10 minutes, everybody, 5 till 12.
Thank you.
Push through it.